Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you on this December 5th, 2025. I got all of your stories for your rush hour ride to work. And the Blake Lively versus Baldoni case has reached its fever pitch as new depositions have been unsealed. We're going to go through a lot of that today. Fascinating stuff. Plus, Diddy is in the news again as 50 Cent actually, I guess, bought footage that Diddy didn't want released. And now Diddy's sending a cease and desist to Netflix for a new documentary they have coming out. There's a real feud there we'll be discussing. And then more on Nick Viall and his wife Natalie's take on Whitney Levitt, who is, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star. And she was in the quarterfinals of Dancing with the Stars and now will play Roxy on Chicago. Well, we've got a response from the Levitt family, and we'll get into that. Plus, Maddie Pruitt. Oh, we got a lot of good stories here. All this and more starts right now on The Rush. So we're going to dive into these depositions right away with the Blake Lively stuff. But if you aren't familiar with our channel, and if this is your first Christmas with us, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, holidays, I don't care, whatever the hell you celebrate, we're here for you. Have some joy end of the year. But I have to tell you, if you're new, we do a single mom Christmas wish list every year. We compile names of moms in our community that need some help. We get their Amazon wish list together, and we donate some toys. That's what we do. And so I've got a link in the description. I started going through some of the video clips that were sent to me from the moms, and I mean, tears, just, I can't even help it. It's, we have a single mom of 3 who it's her first year without any child support. And there's really great stories from our community, and you can donate gifts that get sent right to them. Link in the description if you want to be a part of that change. I know it's a tough year for a lot of people. If we can make it a little bit better before going into 2026, who knows? Maybe we can change some lives. Who knows? All right, so let's dive into it. We've got the deposition updates. I've got 5 different pieces of this deposition I'm going to share with you. Justin's got his deposition transcript. Jenny Slate complained to Alex Sachs, she's the producer, about Justin interacting with fans on location. So she wasn't happy that he was going out and cheering and seeing the fans and whatnot. What do you recall Miss Sachs telling you about Miss Slate's concerns? He said, I recall her having lunch with Miss Slate, Jenny Slate from, the Seashell? Who is it? Marcel the Shell? Whatever. SNL. I think she got fired from SNL for saying the F word accidentally. Whoops. Anyhow, Justin says she listed a few things. She said Miss Slate had not appreciated the recording that I had made during pre-production with her and Miss Lively. She had not appreciated a comment that I made on set regarding her wardrobe, something she was wearing. I believe she also said that Miss Slate didn't like that I was interacting with the fans outside. There was a lot of fans when we were shooting, and then on certain breaks I would go and just say hi to them because they were out there all day. And if I recall correctly, she was saying to Miss Sachs that she didn't want to be asked to go out and do that as well because she was a private person. So she was asking to not interact with, to be asked to interact with the fans. I don't know if it was Alex or Ange who told me that. She felt the set was too huggy or comfortable or whatever. I know huggy was a word that was used because I remember the word. So they're basically, again, not even one of the main characters, tertiary or, a main character, but not the lead story. And she's like, oh, I'm too good to say hi to the fans. And meanwhile, here's Justin. And of course, he's working, God knows, probably 16 to 18 hour long days as a director. And he's going out there saying hi to his fans as they're cheering for him, getting photos with them, just, hey, making sure that the people that are standing out there get a good shot, selfies and whatnot. So that's what you're up against. That's the public image, this image that, some people, are out there kind of understanding that their art is being shared when you shoot in New York City with, passerbys and things like that. And rather than avoid it, he's hitting it head on. So this idea that he was recording Blake Lively, this was an odd claim that was made. Well, as it turns out, the secret recording that they talked about was a Zoom meeting. So it wasn't like there was a GoPro hidden under a desk. That in an initial creative Zoom meeting between Justin, Blake, and Jenny and Blake only found out at the very end of the Zoom that Justin had been recording it the whole time. And that made both Blake and Jenny, from Jenny's point of view, feel very uncomfortable. What a load of garbage. Has anyone ever been on a Zoom before? When you hit the button, it says, we are now recording. Are you kidding me? So what, did their assistant set it up and not tell them? I don't know. When you hit the record button, it tells all parties were recording. So, and by the way, would you blame the director of a movie for wanting to record the meetings? If you have any input, he wants to go back on it and use it for, absolute rubbish. So Alex Sachs asked Sony to fire Justin as director in May of 2023 over the Jenny Slate comment. Yes, very bad. I think we need to replace our director, and Jamie should not be on set. So Jamie Heath, the producer, and Justin Baldoni, at this moment, we see Alex Sachs wanted them removed. It's all a power grab. She said, because I knew that I was more than capable of running the movie, they just weren't letting me. And so his presence was actually not needed. So if he was making someone so uncomfortable, I didn't see the reason for him to be there. This is the problem. Like, who cares if you could have run the movie? It wasn't your movie, plain and simple. Citizen journalist says this whole thing is because people wanted power and control, period, allegedly. But what the F? Alex Sachs' deposition is a whole mess. We thought Blake Lively was bad. So yeah, hey, this is what happens, right? You learn a lot when you're being cross-examined, and she's got main character energy. Yeah, all of these executives do, right? They all feel like they could shoot it, direct it, star in it, market it, produce it, edit it, cut it, color correct, whatever. But again, that's the power of Hollywood, baby. So lots of things going on here. But Jenny Slate, she didn't want Jamie Heath on set at all. This was said in the deposition. There was a mention of some kind of comments that Jamie had made to Jenny regarding how generous they had been with her housing allowance, and that it was important for them to take care of new mothers, and that made her uncomfortable. Yes, that's right. Jamie Heath knew that Jenny Slate was uncomfortable with the housing situation. I don't think she got into specifics. My guess is it wasn't the most baby-friendly place. Look, you're in New York City. There's a million different things you got to do to protect your baby. I'll be there this week for stand-up shows, so come check us out. And I'm literally bringing a bag of Ziploc ties to make sure he doesn't get into things, and plug covers and whatnot. And so they gave her, she had a deposit, and I think they ate it. I think they gave her like an extra 13 grand or whatever. I could be wrong. And somehow she's uncomfortable. So they say then there was a lot of other conversations, non-specific, but that she was uncomfortable in both of their presences and really would prefer to never see Jamie again. Knowing that Justin was the director and co-star, she would have to. Miss Slate says that she never wanted to see Mr. Heath again. Correct. And it's your impression that Miss Slate knew that she would have to see Mr. Baldoni because he was the director and co-star, but perhaps she didn't want to see him either. I can't speak to that, but that was my assumption. Pretty wild stuff. It's like a lot of people are wondering, geez, I didn't realize Jenny Slate was this popular. Now, again, if there was actual crimes being committed, but this is the type of stuff where it's like, don't make eye contact with me level of stuff. And it's like, really? This is what it's all about? This is what this thing is approaching like $1 billion, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars, it seems, in legal fees, lawsuits for 400 million, 250. It's all adding up to a whole bunch of nothing. Now, if you were Team Blake Lively, you probably aren't switching sides. And if you were Team Justin Baldoni, you're probably not switching sides. But it's just interesting how all of this has been played out. Now, I will be covering a lot more of this tomorrow, this weekend, because there's just almost too much to get to right now. It's like, I've said this before, but it's like drinking water out of a fire hose trying to cover it all. So this last piece of the Baldoni stuff, I'll tell you what, I'm going to share with you what might be a good example of Blake Lively trying to get into Justin's head. I'm going to share this version of the transcript with you after we take a quick word from our sponsors. The Rush Hour is sponsored by Masterclass. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. I actually gifted Masterclass to my brother who was looking for some self-improvement ideas. I gifted him a class about developing good, repeatable habits from Atomic Habits author James Clear. With Masterclass, you get thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories that can fit into even the busiest of schedules. Turn your commute or workout into a classroom. With audio mode, you can listen to Masterclass lessons anytime, anywhere. With plans starting at $10 a month, billed annually, you get unlimited access to over 200 plus classes taught by the world's best business leaders, writers, chefs, and more. There's no risk. Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/rush hour for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/rush-hour, masterclass.com/rush-hour. The holidays are all about finding the perfect gift, but this time of year, not every deal is actually what it seems. Scammers are getting more creative to trick people into sharing their payment info through methods like fake shopping sites and giveaways that are too good to be true. Luckily, Cash App's 24/7 fraud monitoring helps detect and alert you for unusual card activity should someone gain access to your card, so you can act fast if something seems off. You can also lock or unlock your Cash App card instantly right in the app for extra control and peace of mind. Stay one step ahead of scams this season and keep your money secure with Cash App. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, just download Cash App, use our exclusive referral code SECURE10 in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. So Justin Baldoni was asked who he has recorded conversations with, and he said, "I've recorded a part of a call with Sean Levy." Who is Sean Levy? Sean Levy is a director and apparently a very close friend of Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds. What do you recall about that call? I recall he wanted to speak to me. And as we began talking, I got the feeling that he was calling to kind of adjust or course correct, which made me feel a little uncomfortable. Adjust or course correct from what? Baldoni says, "I don't know." What do you mean when you say adjust or course correct? Just explain that to me a little bit more. It felt like he was being asked to call me, like he wasn't just calling to talk or check in. And what was he calling you about? The movie, It Ends With Us, and Miss Lively. Was he calling you about the tensions that were arising in relation to that movie? No. So what about the movie, It Ends With Us, was he calling you about? He was calling to give me advice, it appeared, on how to handle or navigate making a movie with Miss Lively. When in time was this? He says, I could be wrong, it was April of 2023. Where were you located when you recorded the call? At my office in New Jersey. So very interesting stuff coming out here regarding this director Levy, friends with Blake Lively. Was he trying to suss out if Baldoni had competence? Was Blake Lively worried? My general belief in all of this is that Blake Lively was afraid she was going to look stupid on camera. Now, the movie turned out great, but she was dealing with what she believed to be as a rookie director, and that could be her own narcissism, or it could be because she's been in movies in the past that stunk. You know what I mean? I have no idea, but that doesn't let her off the hook. But that's my motivation. I believe that she thought that she was better then, and that's why she wanted to take control and get her Khaleesi's dragons to put their stamp on the whole thing. I don't know. Just a thought. All right, let's move it on. We have so much other tea to get to. How about this? Covered this yesterday. Nick Viall and Natalie Joy, their podcast, which they do from their home, the comfort of their home, they were accused of criticizing with Whitney Levitt here. Whitney Levitt, of course, of Dancing with the Stars fame this year, and of course from the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. These shows are hard to say. There's a lot of words. Well, again, some people wondered, hey Dave, are you being too hard on them? It seems like they were genuinely concerned about Whitney Levitt. Of course, they were asking questions like, well, she just uprooted her kids to LA for Dancing with the Stars. Now she's going to bring her kids to New York. Like, that must be really tough for their schedule. And I guess there are some naive people out there that think that Natalie and Nick are asking these questions out of real concern for them. But you have to remember, Nick left Natalie to go do Special Forces, and no one questioned that move. And again, she was pregnant, and I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Anything you can do for your career while you're not like completely neglecting your kids. Like, they're not going to fight in wars, okay? Anything you can do for your career that benefits your family's financial stability, that can show your kids that you were involved in the arts, that's a good thing. And by the way, is it busy to star on Broadway? I'm sure. But once you get the character down, you show up at 6 p.m., get your hair and makeup done, you're home by 10. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too, you can balance it all. I do 2 podcasts a day, and I do stand-up comedy at night. My kid loves me. I get to see him more than, a lot of dads get to see their kids. And no one's saying, Dave, you're dragging your kid all over the country. Is this good for your family? Hey, the family's a business, right? Anyway, so again, I'm not pulling this out of my butt when I say the internet has their takes.
Because what do you mean she has something to say about Whitney Levitt, a trained dancer, having her big break on Broadway when she's only on a podcast because of nepotism from her own husband? I'm so sorry I have to be the one to say what everybody is thinking, but it's true. It's giving weird energy and bad vibes all around. Now, I really wanted to give her a shot. I really wanted to like her, but everything I hear about her is just weird, creepy, weird.
I mean, tell us how you really feel. That was, what? Or you know Nat. That was Nat on TikTok. Now listen, I mean, I'm not here to dog on anybody, but you can tell the negative jealousy when you hear it. This happens a lot in the world of entertainment, right? You get a big role and someone, that you think is a friend might say, "How did you get that?" And they're not saying congratulations. They're saying, geez, I'm surprised. I remember I was at a comedy gig one night and they were like rating the best set of the night. And I was sitting next to another comedian and they told me I had the best set of the night. And the comedian next to me goes, "What? Really?" And I was like, Jesus Christ, chill out, But when you're not pursuing the thing you want out of life, when you feel like someone else is doing better than you, there is the personality type that gets jealous and wants to pull them back down to where they're at. I'm not saying Natalie and Nick are doing this, but it's like, let Whitney live her life. Now, Whitney opted not to do their podcast, and maybe there's some other animosity going on there. But we have a response from Whitney Levitt's family. And again, I wouldn't share this, but they posted it on social media as a response. "We can't wait to go watch Mommy perform on Broadway." And this was posted by Connor Levitt. This is my algorithm. I'm assuming that's Whitney's husband. And it was a nice, beautiful little video of them doing a dance together. So they're excited to see their mom on Broadway. I can't believe I have to say this. What's better, letting your kids sit at home, watch Miss Rachel? I love you, Miss Rachel. Nothing against you. Or getting to root your mom on when she's living her dreams. Listen, I haven't been a parent for that long, but it's my core belief that my son will be the best version of himself if he sees me be the best version of myself. And anyhow, so that's my thought on it. And I'm just so sick of haters who hate on people that try. That do something that, like Whitney she got a degree, or part of her performance degree was in dance, and now she gets to perform on Broadway. Who cares how she got there? Who cares? That's what people need to learn we're going into 2026. And please, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in It Ends With Us when he's pointing to the sky saying the asteroid's coming. You guys need to know something. AI is going to wipe out so many jobs. So many jobs that are out there are going to be gone. Do whatever you can to develop some sort of brand on social media. Gather as many email addresses as you can. Take that baking class you wanted to. Do what brings you joy in this life, because the safe route is going to replace you. I'm sorry. And this isn't a panic. Make career choices or whatever choices of love that provide equity and power to you. Look at Whitney Levitt. She took a risk on some dang reality show because she was dancing on TikTok. Because of that, she got on Dancing with the Stars. Was she supremely hated? Yes, but she got on Roxy, and there's thousands of people that graduate from Juilliard every year that would kill for that job. She got it. Doesn't matter the route to get there. So I'm happy for her. All right, let's move it on. Diddy. Oh boy, Diddy's in trouble. Diddy. So there's a 50 Cent documentary. 50 Cent hates Puff Daddy. I don't know if you knew this. Sean Combs and 50 are not friends. And as it turns out, 50 Cent is in Netflix actually has a cease and desist sent to them right now because he's, I guess, acquired camera footage from the cameraman of Diddy in order to hate on Diddy. This is wild.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have
50 Cent's like, I was an investor in vitamin water. I'm worth millions.
Have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day.
Perhaps.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
You know what? Diddy's response saying that this was stolen footage makes me want to watch this Netflix documentary that much more. I'm not sure when it airs, but it must be coming out. I don't have the date right here. I'm sure it's coming out very shortly. So I'll be watching. Oh boy. We have all these great Bachelor stories here. How about this? E-News is reporting. I know things are taken out of context, but Maddie Pruitt, formerly from The Bachelor, married to son of a billionaire, Grant Trout, says, being a submissive wife, it was a challenge for me at first, but now it's my favorite thing. I love talking about submission. My favorite thing is pizza. You know, I like the Detroit style that doesn't have the crust, but the butter crisps up on the end. I am submissive for pizza, so we're basically the same. I'm submissive for pizza. She's submissive to her billionaire husband. That's what you get when you marry a billionaire, I guess. You know, it's in the will. You must be submissive to get. Okay, so there they are. My response to that: yikes! All right, do you? Oof. I guess that's in the Bible. You know, me, I just want to love our neighbors. Not in a submissive way, unless that's what you signed up for. I'm not going to kink shame anybody. Okay, it's Friday. We're off the rails. That's it for me. We'll be back this afternoon, and we'll have special bonus weekend content. Make sure you're subscribed for that. I'm going to have updates on Candace Owens. I'm going to have updates on the Baldoni trial and so much more. So we'll see you this afternoon. As always, I'm Dave, and this is The Rush.